Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing? I'm waiting to see. Okay. I just want to make sure. Sorry, guys. I just did an impromptu live. This is going to be, we're going to do a spirit box session for Nancy Guthrie. Guys, I've been super busy packing, working, things of that nature. I'm moving in 13 days. So um, I just wanted to do a live this evening. Any questions you guys have for uh, that you guys want answered. Hi, Patricia. Hi, I'm Limitless. Um, um, hang on, guys. Hang on. Okay, there we go. Hi, I'm Limitless. Hi, Tammy. Hi, Wendy. Hi, Jean. Hi, Princess. Hi, Charlotte. Hi, Joey. Yeah, so I just wanted to do, and again, I'm really busy, you guys. Hi, Deanna. So did not have time to do a spirit box session today, so we're just going to do a live one. Hi, Teresa. With the FBI being back in, hi, Dolly. Hi, Mama Chipmunk. The FBI showing back up in the neighborhood. They are searching in the exact spot that Nancy brought out for one of the locations that I did tell you guys about. Hi, Coco. Hi, Karen. Hi, Chevy. About people with bad intentions for me. Right, you're welcome, Chevy. The FBI is apparently back out there searching for, I'm sure they're searching for evidence. But that's the exact location that Nancy Guthrie gave that needed to be searched for evidence. So, hi, Princess. Thank goodness. I hope they find her. Yep. Hi, Debbie. So any questions you guys want asked in for the spirit box session, that's what we're going to be doing today. If you guys want to focus on specific areas, specific people, anything new that you guys may have known that has come out or anything else like that. No, Dolly, I will not be in my new place until I do not move until the very, very end of August. But I am packing. I work full time. I'm packing. I'm also redoing my bedroom set, like completely refurbishing my bedroom set. I also have to refurbish my hutch, like completely redoing it. So I have a lot that I'm doing. And I'm also doing my channel. So, and then yesterday I went and visited my 97-year-old grandmother for a couple hours. So, thank you, Mama Chipmunk. Hi, Linda. But yeah, so I'm very, very busy. I'm getting down to, gonna be almost moved into my new apartment. So I'm so excited for that. I can't wait for that. And again, just trying to get everything all in a row. I like to be very organized and things of that nature. So, but if you guys want to drop down, you're so excited. Refurbished furniture, upcycle things, yeah. Well, I've had this dresser set it was gifted to me by my aunt and uncle years when I was, it was gifted to me by my aunt and uncle, when I was probably about 22 years old, so about 20 years ago. It's due for an upgrade. I'll show it to you guys I'll show you the before and the after, once I have it all finished. But, Thank you, Dolly. Chevy. Hi, Wolfie. Thank you for sending the sunshine. Let me see if I can. Let's make sure I can hit that light. Can my phone work? And we heart that. All right, so if you guys want to drop, thank you. I am limitless. If you guys want to, thank you, Linda. Thank you, Patricia. Yes, I've just been really, really, really busy, and so we're just gonna do a live this evening. That way, you guys can be right involved with the questions as well. So if you guys want to drop down in the questions, what questions you guys want asked of the spirit box, the spirits, we will ask those questions. Okay. Hi, Gina. All right, so I'm going to get the spirit box ready. Again, if you guys are new here, which I've seen almost every single one of you here before, so I thank you. Yeah, Dolly, I do have an email. It's beccas@truecrimetarot@gmail.com. Spelled just like that. beccas@truecrimetarot@gmail.com. So, okay, if you are new here, I use just spirit box, just sweeps radio waves, headphones, put them over my ears because I can hear it better. You guys don't have to hear all the static and all the noise. But if you do want to hear the words coming out of the spirit box, just turn your volume up on your device and you'll hear the words coming out. Gina, are you feeling better? I hope so. I'm feeling a little bit better. There's a lot going on with my, not a lot, but pretty much for the past 10 years, they've had me on the wrong type of medicine that my body does not, which I tried to tell people that when I moved back to where I live now from where I currently lived, I tried telling them that I already went through these things with a certain medication, and my primary doctor knew that none of those medications worked for my body, and I would have severe reactions. And when I moved to the bigger city I am in, nobody wanted to believe me. So for the past 10 years, I've been on the wrong type of medication that my body literally rejects. My body literally freaks out from it. And so I finally got it after my sister. You guys know my sister. If you've seen her, she's like, you need a new doctor. You're getting a new doctor because your doctors don't listen to you. And so then so I'm like, okay, fine. I'll listen to you. And I also took Nancy Guthrie's advice. She's like, I was doing a spirit box session for Nancy Guthrie, and she's like, you need, like, literally, if you go back to the very beginning, you will hear her say, and I repeat it about my health. And so I took her advice as well. So I got the new primary. She ordered a DNA test, and it's a test that it checks like your genes and like your nerves and how sensitive your body is to medications and whether medications work with your body or if you will have severe reactions to medications. And pretty much my body, it came back as my body has severe reactions to medications, which I already knew, but they wouldn't listen to me. So it has been a very long, tedious, torturous 3 months of getting my body back into order, trying to get my body back into order. And yeah, Gina, doctors forget we know our bodies better than they do. Yeah. Yeah, but the thing is, some of the doctors had my primary doctor's notes from when I lived in a different location, and they wouldn't take those medical records. So they wanted to do what they wanted to do, and they wanted to make me look a certain way or think I was saying I was lying. When I hate putting medication in my body, I'm paranoid to even put freaking certain foods into my body. I don't drink, I don't do drugs, I smoke a vape. That's it. And I quit smoking cigarettes. Be almost 4 years now. I just quit smoking cigarettes, and I just recently, with stress and everything, with the vape thing. So yeah. So my health, I'm working with my doctors now and new doctors, and hopefully that's all going to get back in order. So, but that is also why hi, Jerry Lynn. why I'm trying to also make time to spend, like, I spent yesterday with my grandmother, and just trying to, like, my life is really, like, not that I haven't prioritized people in my life, because I always really do prioritize people in my life. Actually, like, that's one of the lessons I've had to learn, is to learn to put myself first before others, because I'm very much a person of, you got COPD from vaping. Yeah, I know vaping's not good. Thank you, Wendy. But yeah, so that's, like, I'm just trying to make a priority of, you know, spending time, as much as time as I can, with, you know, my family and friends and things of that nature, because you never know what's going to happen around the bend, you know. So, all right, so we're gonna jump into this. I'm gonna put the headphones on. There was one question, but yeah, some of the people close to me have known what's been going on with my health, though. So it's not like I've been keeping it a secret, but there's some people who've known what's been going on. So that's why I kind of get irritated with a certain creator. We won't name names, but I can tell you my body was going through hell and back, and I was still doing my work on top of trying to prove somebody to be a fraud, all while being extremely ill. Okay, I'm going to find that question. I'm not a giver-upper, you guys. Question: is it true that Cameron thinks that ANT did this to you, Nancy? Okay, Deanna. Thank you, Karen, for the super. Okay, I just want to make sure I'm not missing any questions. Okay, so the first question would be from Teresa. Okay, I'm going to turn the spirit box on, you guys. Okay, so I want you guys to look up, well, angel number 680. We're currently at 23.6 degrees Celsius. I don't know, my spirit box wants to stay on Celsius, and I don't know why, but we already have words coming through it, and it's not even sweeping yet. Okay, just let me say the prayer for everyone, you guys, okay? Okay, so we're going to sweep forward. Okay, if Nancy Guthrie's spirit guides could come through, as well as Nancy Guthrie and Charles Guthrie could come through, and my spirit guides and ancestors, if you could please come through. Nancy Guthrie is allowed to come to the forefront. Said forefront. It's important because, okay, question. Does Nancy Guthrie's son have anything to do with Nancy Guthrie being missing? Which son, Teresa? Said, I am from New York. It's my vibe. And we'll say that the solution, what's the solution? They just don't like the nervousness from before. What nervousness? They said your name, Teresa. Yes, Teresa's question was, does Nancy's son have anything to do with Nancy being missing? Something about in coordinates. Foundation. What do you mean by foundation? What odd? And someone tapped out. What do you mean someone tapped out? In the neighborhood. Okay, who in the neighborhood tapped out? Who in Nancy Guthrie's neighborhood tapped out? You guys said that clear. The name Andy came through? The name Jason came through? Jason and Andy what? Share hope, find purpose. Something about they started the supper. What the heck? It's time to pray for someone. Okay, question from Deanna. Is it true that Cameron thinks that Annie and Tommaso did this to you, Nancy Guthrie? Everything is in order, including what? He never does. He never does what? I'm across. You're across from where, Nancy? Something about a shed outside. The casino? I'm literally hearing gambling machines, you guys. Like slot machines. She knows. Who knows? The name Sharon came through? Your home and something about the garage. What about the garage, Nancy Guthrie? Something about the pastor and the name Joe came out. Nancy Guthrie, who does your son Cameron think did this to you? I'm just turning the volume up, guys. Don't yell in my ears. Nancy Guthrie, who does your son Cameron think did this to you? Something about the American people? You gotta say it clear. Victim and something joint release. Savannah, the name Savannah came through. Almost lost. What do you mean? 25578 that number came out. Something about a knickknack? I think so. You think so what? The T word, say now? What? Are you talking about Tommaso? Get a fresh start. Hang on. I gotta find. Nancy Guthrie. Next question. It's him. Who is him? Who is him? The windows. Something about the bathroom. The windows, bathroom. Who is him? Give me more information. Something organization. It said Thomas, you guys. What about Thomas? Why it matters and how the people know. There's farmers. What do you mean about farmers? Something, no medical, and something about coverage. Are you talking about insurance? I'm looking for Wolfie. Welcome back to the cat show. That's what it said. So theater. One call. Who made the one call? Nancy Guthrie, who made the one call? Who? Annie. Okay, and what call did Annie make? What call did Annie make? The mast. Can you tell me more about that, Nancy Guthrie? Swift. Make. Trying to... Wolfie, you're in blue. No, he's... Okay. Sorry. The Padres. Okay. What call did Annie make? What call did Annie make, Nancy? Other than to Savannah. What call did Annie make? Put their lives at risk. Put whose lives at risk? Welcome to the home just outside. Just outside your home, Nancy Guthrie? Something, the world of grace, said Tom. The paths. The what? It said something stone. What stone, Nancy Guthrie? She said to lead her role. Are you talking about Annie or you... Sent congressman? So you're talking about Savannah. Yes, Savannah did call the congressman or the senator. But what call did Annie make? Fox and then sports again. That person is American. Okay, the mass suspect is American. Something about a battle on the team. So there's the first, okay. February 1st, she disappeared. So the person, the mass suspect, the porch guy, he's an American. Is that what you're telling me, Nancy Guthrie? He's from America. He came back to play. That's what it said. It was really creepy. To trial, 22. Okay. Next question from Linda Maria. Becca, could you ask Nancy if she is buried wearing her pajamas and slippers? Thank you. Nancy Guthrie, are you buried wearing your pajamas and slippers? When heavenly comes, saved on everything. What do you mean by that? Are you buried? First of all, let's find out. 441027 is the number that came out. Write that number down. 8910. Okay. Call. Are you buried, Nancy? It said farm, let me tell you. Nancy Guthrie, are you buried in the ground? Just under what? Just under what, Nancy Guthrie? Ranch Crossing? Something about piers? They're QC Kinetics. Nancy Guthrie, okay, other than you being buried, were you placed out in nature in your pajamas and slippers, Nancy Guthrie? It said, haha, the odd couple. I need a clear yes or no, Nancy Guthrie. One day, and it said BLT, not BLT, BATL, something like that. Fence of the last years, the home. The guy can be what? The guy can be what? Something about a bowling alley. The guy can be what, Nancy Guthrie? I only want truthful information to come through. One day he ditched. He ditched what, Nancy Guthrie? Called all that sports stuff. Okay. Can you tell me more about the sports? Because you've been real adamant about the sports. Job, yes. Is this someone who worked in sports? Works in sports? The porch guy. Works in sports, plays sports, some kind of sports reporting or sports broadcasting, something like that. The name Steven came through again. Can you repeat that? Something north. It said something north. Map, I think. Okay, can we get back to Nancy? Are you out in nature with your pajamas and slippers? It said yes. Okay, we're going to go to the next question. Thank you, Karen. Get well. Your health is most important. It said, thank you, Christine. And the name McDonald came out. Teresa, I don't think anyone will keep you down now. Julie, I heard Cameron said Annie would do anything for Tommaso. He wants her to come clean. Maybe that's what Savannah was talking about. Julie, okay, so question. I heard Cameron said Annie burying. It said burying. The name Christine came out as well again. I heard Cameron said Annie would do anything for Tommaso. Is that true, Nancy Guthrie? Would Annie do anything? Seen in 4 months? That's what it said. Is that true? First, let's establish if that's true. Is that true? Would it said I'll say goodbye, I'll stand by. Is that true? Will Annie Guthrie do anything for her husband, Tommaso Cioni? Said, whoa, whoa. That's my guy. She's not going to get away. Savannah. Tommaso. And it said eagle, something about an eagle. He wants her to come clean. So Cameron, you're asking, does Cameron want Annie to come clean? Does Cameron want Annie to come clean? Said right. Clear as day, right? Who is, this is a question going based off of Julie's question. Is Savannah Guthrie addressing anyone specific with when she came out and said Hunter Biden? Is Savannah Guthrie addressing anyone specifically when she did her last statement pleading for her mother to be returned home. Said self-education applies. I stand in the road. Celebrate. Something secondary. Does Savannah Guthrie know who kidnapped her mother? There's a lot of people, you know. I want the truth. Does Savannah Guthrie know who kidnapped her mother, Nancy Guthrie? It said yep. Can you tell us who those people are that Savannah knows? Think in terms of value. Okay, what do you mean by that? You're welcome. The name Sue came out? That's what you got wrong. What do you mean? What do you mean? Tomorrow? Something about tomorrow? What do you mean? Can you tell us the names that Savannah Guthrie, the names of the people that Savannah Guthrie knows who did this? Something about control. Okay, we're going to move on to the next question. 2R. It's a 2R. Someone with the certification who got it free. Son or son-in-law. Okay. We did have a few. Okay, from Marina. For Nancy. Nancy, did Annie ask you for money when she was at your house, when you were at her house? Something about 5 million. Literally said 5 million. Let's just clarify the question. Nancy Guthrie, did your daughter Annie, keeps bringing out a Democrat, did your daughter Annie ask you for money when you were at her house on January 31st that night when you were there for dinner? Just say it. Yes, just say it. Please tell me, did Annie ask you for money right now? And it said, I know. Something about sherbet. The work of the officer. What do you mean the work of the officer? Danger allowed them. What do you mean the work of the officer? Planted me. What do you mean planted you? The work of the officer planted you. What does that mean? It said the brother. What do you mean? Be more clear, please. The work of the officer planted you. That's telling me the work of the officer either planted some kind of evidence or planted you outside in nature. Said absolutely. Has been confirmed. It was the thing that they were to do. Child and parent. What is the name of this officer? He went out. What is the name of this officer? They paid the price. What is the name of the officer? For offices tomorrow, something about a silk screen and the name Brad came out. Working during that time. Is that the person who leaked the information about the Apple Watch? Something came through fast, but yeah, it's going to be great. That's what it said. Is that how these people knew? The name Megan came out and something, their reactions? Cardinal star. Obtained some of what he knew. That Sunday. Are you talking about the February 1st? That Sunday? The name Sue came out again. I was. The board. What board, Nancy Guthrie? What board? What board, Nancy Guthrie? Because you're... What board, Nancy Guthrie? I'm always intrigued by... I want to know what board. Are you talking about somebody on the police force? Or are you talking about... I said the only other stake. Are you talking about your HOMA board? Are you talking about what board? I want clarity. So, notice he's part of the prosecutor. Okay. The coordinator. The heart, your celebration. Talking about your daughter saying she wants to celebrate your life. He's a thief. Who's a thief? Trips from which? Who's a thief? The veteran and something about a free lunch. Pop one in and they'll take advantage of Grant. It's weird. Class of air something? And the sky. Is this someone are you talking about someone who may know Cameron? Your son? Something about professionals. Are you talking about someone who may know your son, Cameron? Something about a thing that was called a conspiracy. Okay. We're going to move to the next question. Did the FBI... Wide receivers. Okay. WRJN. Ronald Mitchell. Mods, I can't go out and see that right now. Just so you guys know. Okay, we're going to go to the next question by Nancy Valenti. Nancy Guthrie, did the FBI find any new evidence going back to your home recently? So I know they have an exhibit there. What's the exhibit? We have a rotation. It said 70s. It said yes. There are more victories to come. Thank you, Joey. Something about a person's taxes and a bereavement. Like, are you talking about like an easement? One of his friends is going to sing. Matter of fact, what? You came to what? Sometimes. What is the exhibit? Exhibit to me is telling me they found evidence. They're displaying something. What is the exhibit? What did they find? What did FBI find? What did law enforcement find it in the new search? Employees that happen. Whose employees? No cover. So it wasn't covered up? What wasn't covered up? They said, can you say introducing? Are they back? This is my own question. Are they back in the neighborhood trying to see? Are they trying to see if anyone, are they trying to look at anyone surrounding Nancy Guthrie's home? It's a gas station. Thank you, Linda. Next question is from Gloria. Nancy, did your abductors watch you from the rental house up the hill across the street from your house? Natural disasters. There's Annie. What? Can you say that again? Nancy Guthrie. They had a bird's eye view. What? That means like up in the air. There's three. They rented 3. 1,000. Did Nancy Guthrie, did your abductors watch you from the rental house up the hill across the street from your home, Nancy Guthrie? You would be surprised about that. Briefly. What do you mean by briefly? Were you taken into one of those rental properties, Nancy? They posted, and then something about there being live agents out there. Protections. We have orchestra music coming through. Strange whistling sound again. Very high, almost like a dog whistle. Next door. What do you mean next door? To the home. Next. The guy, you know? The whistle again, like a dog whistle. Sounds like a very high-pitched dog whistle. Are you talking about Jeff, the neighbor? The guy who said the dogs made a strange noise? Something about water? And it said all that stuff. So are you talking about the washes? Yep. Which wash? It said 7. Which wash? It said, woo! That's what it said. Which wash? Make Fox. The name Angie came through? Hang on. Okay. Sorry, guys, if I disappeared for a second. Yeah, guys, I can't click on chat. So mods, you gotta type in here. Hang on, guys. Let me scroll down to the very bottom. Mods, is there something you guys need me to know? I can't click out. Jen Visions, you keep getting Steven in your head, your profile on Kick app. Name Richard Stevens, okay? I think Sue Ellen watched her kidnapping. You think Sue Ellen watched Nancy? Linda, you think Sue Ellen watched the kidnapping that night? Yeah. There is a treehouse in Nancy's backyard. Okay. Okay, thanks, Mama Chipmunk, because I thought there was something really important, so I clicked out. Okay. Let me go back up to the questions. I don't want to miss anyone's questions. Friend and a warm place. Okay. Okay, where's... That's a good question. Okay, we're going to just start here. We're going to Jody Smith. Please ask Nancy what she had in her home office that the perp wanted. Did they take important documents from... Nancy Guthrie, was there something in your home office that the people who abducted you wanted? Was there important documents? I'm not a pontoon owner. What? It said written. The name Jean came out. Nancy, was there something in your home office? It said I'm assuming now he's dead. Nancy, I think that was from a human. That's a human thought, not a spirit thought. Nancy Guthrie, was there something in your home office that the perpetrator, the mass suspect porch guy, wanted and took from your home office? An important document. That old time. Okay, what old time? Keep hearing this loud dog. It's a dog whistle that keeps coming through. C, now. The name Gloria came through. Not at this time. Okay. So you won't tell us if there's... You won't tell us if there was important paperwork that was taken? It was a rain-free day. The bedroom. Was there paperwork in your bedroom? Important documentation, paperwork in your bedroom. Can't lose it to the J right now. That's what it said. And then from there, what? Something about the city. The recorder of the city. Are you talking about traffic cameras? Or are you talking about Nancy Guthrie was looking into something having to do with the city? The use. It said the use. Something about the houses. Was Nancy looking... The play on... Are you talking about Nancy was looking into the HOA? the nonsense of the HOA. What do you mean by that? They wanted it. What do you mean? Said, man, listen. Something about roofing, you guys? Said roofing to my left. So I don't know if there's people who live to the left. If you're like, it says something right at the intersection. There's roofers to the left. That's what she said. Roofers, if you're like on Nancy's front porch facing, this is what I'm seeing in my mind's eye, facing her street. If you're standing on her front porch facing the front street, the left, going left, she's saying there's roofers to the left of her. Something flagged but forgot. Angelo's and something about tomorrow night. The name Angelo's came up. Streets LLC. I said Streets LLC. So the streets, okay. On the expressway. Airplane. Ticket. Why are you bringing up, I feel, that's what it said. Are you talking, Nancy, why are you bringing up the HOA? Are you, because you're someone who runs your HOA, their name is Tom. Yes. 109. Route 109. Totally denied it. What do you mean totally denied it? Thief now. Who's the thief? The thief on Saturday. Did Tom, the guy who runs your HOA or is part of your HOA, the name Christy keeps coming through. Did he somehow show up at financial guidance? Did he somehow show up at Annie and Tomaso's? You're saying he was around you. That's what you're saying. And then it brought up the word W again. The letter W. The attorney. Yeah, you know what I mean? That's what it said, guys. So how was Tom, the guy who works or runs your HOA near you, the house, heat, settlement, the backyard, hunt? Yes, I have a camouflage shirt on. Sorry, I just have something. How was he around you that Saturday evening? Due to the manhunt. That's what it said. Nancy Guthrie. Does anyone from your HOA have anything to do with your kidnapping? Thank you, Dr. Edward. Company ID. Thank you, Dr. Edward. Does anybody, his excuse, what was his excuse? The 22. So are you talking about near where the renters are? Because that is 22. That is the beginning numbers of where that rental property is and those people are that moved out. Up until 2020. There's going to be aid. What do you mean there's going to be aid? Okay, we're going to move on to the next question. She's really bringing out a lot of information. She's not afraid. She just said it very clear. I'm not afraid. So she's not afraid to tell the truth. Thank you, Mama Chipmunk. Yes, we have 245 in here. If you guys are on your phones, just double tap that screen and it'll hit the thumbs up button for me. If you're on your computer watching, please hit that thumbs up button for me. If you're on your TV watching, press the thumbs up button for me, please. That will help the video get out into the algorithm as well. Matt Lauer. You want me to ask about Matt Lauer, Jane? What about Matt Lauer? There are much more. What about Matt Lauer? Those who put their lives. Love you too, Mama Chipmunk. Thank you. I love you, Mama Chipmunk. This is different, okay? Did Matt Lauer have anything to do with Nancy Guthrie's kidnapping? We believe that strongly. Who believes that strongly? The citizens? What do you mean? You believe that strongly? The years of female have been with people. I know they were jerking us around. You're talking about because there was supposedly an incident with Matt Lauer and Savannah Guthrie? Looking back, okay. There wasn't a thought in the last. Okay. We'll move on to the next question. Okay, by Jane. It's an incredible Hall of Fame. Jane Teperez said 15. Was the porch guy a coach at the high school or at the school where Tommaso worked delivering to? Was the porch guy a coach at the school where Tommaso worked? It said it effing tanked her. No evil or negative energy is allowed to come through. No swearing. Something about the wall? Are you talking about the stone wall that goes around Nancy Guthrie's house? Their view. Whose view? Tell me whose view? Whose view? Give me the name of the person who was viewing over the wall. Nancy Guthrie's wall. And they're FBI. Okay. Other than the FBI. That shouldn't be. Okay. Was the guy a coach? Let's just get that out. Is the porch guy a coach? Does he coach sports? Do anything with sports? It said he was there in his room. In her room. It said yes. Yes to the coach? The name Paul came through. Something, mulch and stone. Mulch and stone. What about mulch and stone? There's more what in mulch and stone? Something about a budget. What's more in mulch and stone? Gotta say that clear. What's more in mulch and stone? Said Tom. The lady walking. Are you talking about it's a Nancy Guthrie. Okay, so you're talking about the FBI needs to go back and look at something about miles down. They're taking close-up images of Kate's. That's what it said. Taking close-up images of Kate's. Okay, we're going to move on to the next question. Is the guy in Mexico claiming to have buried your body in Mexico telling the truth? Nancy Guthrie by Christy Lee. The guy in Mexico claiming to have buried your body in Mexico, is he telling the truth, Nancy Guthrie? How can he? That you have. You gotta come through clear. I'm not gonna say it unless it's through as clear as possible. Is the guy in Mexico claiming to have buried your body owner? It said Tom delivered her. One pain, John. Trust your intuition. 111 is trusting your intuition. Got through her fence. So is the guy telling the truth, yes or no? It said no. People. Images. Okay, from Jin Visions. Could the sports be a collection with possible collector? Important. Insurance. It's really not just for. It's beautiful. So the person may. It's one of them. 20. Saw it. He came out with a bang. So the sports, are you referencing, they keep referencing, does this person have a sports collection or a collector of sports memorabilia? It said jester. It said, can you give me more cash? 5, basically. So that's change. So the person who wrote the ransom letters, because when you said, can you give me more cash? It said in a field. The person who wrote the ransom letters, do they have a sports collection? The ones that Savannah and the FBI to believe to be real. Do they have some type of sports memorabilia collection? They're good for it. Something about a nonprofit. So a charity. Get started on your next. Okay, I'll move to the next question. Thank you, I am limitless. Okay. Could you please, Miss Lovelady, could you please ask if it's true that her home is being put up for sale? Nancy Guthrie, is your home being put up for sale? All in good time. Something of, again, a stinking dog whistle, you guys. Savannah, something. Something, the money is transferable. Don't let them hear you. Okay, what don't you want them to hear? When you go from the chef, so the people who are ordering around, look at the convict. Something their friend. 3, then come the people. It's sounding like they, it's hard to explain, but it's sounding like someone's refusing to let, there's mixed feelings about Nancy Guthrie's home being sold. 404910. He said, yeah. There's other ways. Again, dog whistle coming through. The kids, did you move? Millions from the bank account. It said, kids, did you move millions from the bank account? Burning the skull, it said. And then it said cash. They just want to find out more about, what? It's because Reiner, if you're talking about that case, then you're telling me, if I were to look at that case, that's telling me the son did this. That someone, one of Nancy Guthrie's children did this. So let's be real clear on that, okay? Kids, by the way, I did it. Okay. We're going to move on to the next question. The name David came through. From I Am Limitless. It said Rebecca. Did Carlos P. have anything to do with Nancy's disappearance? Nancy Guthrie, my spirit guides and ancestors. Nancy Guthrie, spirit guides and ancestors. Charles Guthrie could please come through. Did Carlos P. have anything to do with Nancy's disappearance? And we do everything that we were supposed to. And so you're going to give it to us. Something drove down Brad by you. After all, in August, the official, I will work every day. Something about leaving some. All Are you talking about Tommaso and Annie left for summer vacation? It says Carlos P. something respected. Something about my life. It was a woman coming through. I believe. So you're talking about Tommaso and Annie left on summer vacation? Sorry, they're just bringing whatever, they're just bringing it through. Okay, we're going to go to the next question. Dr. Edwards, does Sue Ellen know anything about the kidnapping? I said, yeah. Did Sue Ellen witness the kidnapping? It's so easy to get back there. The directive that over 5 back there, the fence that is, the real estate, if you know, does Sue Ellen own any other properties? The issue of keeping it alive. Okay, so you're talking about Sue Ellen with the streamers? The name Malcolm came through. Maybe November, it said. What does the college, what does Sue Ellen know about the kidnapping of Nancy Guthrie? That she panned over. She's close. So tonight, if these guys have the money, why would wealth management? Why did Sue Ellen want to share her video camera footage with law enforcement? Something about a trust, couldn't trust. She let people have. Okay, so she did let people have the video footage. Nancy, did Sue Ellen let people have the camera footage? An experience. She let people have an experience. Okay. They went beyond the budget. Never been to Skipper Bud's? That's what it said. Okay, from Karen. Nancy Guthrie, is it a roofer? Someone who works in roofing? Are they part of your kidnapping, Nancy Guthrie? That's not what you want. Nancy Guthrie, is it a roofer? I need a clear yes or no. Check their ID. They should usually do something about it. Is it a roofer? Something about living God mentality. Who has a living God mentality? That would be a narcissist. The shares ensure your home. said, yeah, the idea. Okay. We're going to move to the next. That's what we talk about when it comes to the outdoors. Okay. He's been over in Europe today. Thomas. Okay. He's going to wrap up. Something fancy theory? That's weird. Not weird, but they're coming through giving very specific. Something in the wash. Again. Okay, next question by Karen. Does the FBI know who wrote the first two notes that Savannah thinks are real? Solid link. It's a solid link. Dog whistle again. It said, say it. What do you want me to say? Organization, as much money as they possibly can. The numbers. What do you mean? Are the numbers addresses? The outdoor oasis. Whose outdoor oasis? He fought the study. What study? What study did he fight? Your offer class schedule. This is going back to a university college teacher dog whistle again. Say that again, please. The name Stephen came through fast. Okay, we're going to move to the next question by Wendy. Dog whistle again, you guys. Is there a son and mother involved in Nancy Guthrie's kidnapping? They pointed the finger to. Our designers. So something was designed. A plan was. Who came up with the plan? It said moon juice. So the full moon. The service didn't dip. Who came up with the plan? Another firm. He did. One call again. One call. Who made the call? Mrs. Length? What? The Hills. So Catalina Foothills. The name Daniel came out. Remember. What do you want me to remember? Nanos is a thief, yeah. That's the question. Nancy Guthrie, does Sugar Chris Nanos have anything to do with your kidnapping? Even by covering up information? Hang on, let me see if I can find it. Honestly, I don't know how to even drop it in the chat, Mama Chipmunk. The name PJ came through. I can drop it. I can put it in after we're done with the live. I can put it in the comment section after the live. Attorney General's office. Nancy Guthrie, again, dog whistle. We have 311 in here and only 181 likes. 317 in here. And on his birthday, 100. Can you guys hit that thumbs up button for me? Does Sheriff Nanos have anything to do? Secrets. What secrets? Workers for jobs and healthcare. Did Sheriff Nanos intentionally botch Nancy Guthrie's investigation? Did Sheriff Chris Nanos intentionally botch Nancy Guthrie's investigation? Said absolutely. Thank you, Sherry Berry. Okay, but I want to know a yes or no. I want to hear a yes or no. Something about a ticket and their travel. Okay, we're going to go to the next. Yeah. Thank you, Mama Chipmunk. The band name is Walter. One guy suited his face and said he was on... The bandmate is Walter, yes. In the month to come, one guy studied his face and said he was the porch guy. Something about acting. Two others said it was Tommaso's brother. Okay, so not a question. Okay, from Alicia, can you ask about the garage? Are there fingerprints still in the garage? Nancy Guthrie, are there fingerprints still in your garage? Said there is, and something about the head. Nice work. Standing. The head could also mean the bathroom. He tipped BH. Where can these fingerprints be found? Look by the front. Dog whistle again. Something very significant with dogs, you guys, in the whistle. I know the neighbors. There's a little. Nancy, were you able to make it inside of your home within those 2 minutes? Your garage door opened up. Something about a meteorologist. Every time I ask that question, it brings out meteorologists. We stand behind our work. That's what it said. It said the garage door opened up at like 9:48 and closed at 9:50. Nancy Guthrie, with how bad your mobility was, were you able to, and Tommaso, were you able to get in your garage in those 2 minutes? Their way. Something the other vehicle. Ask Tom. Call last stop. Cause he wanted what? Cause he wanted what? Dog whistle again. That's weird. He wasn't traveling me back. What? What do you mean he wasn't traveling you back? Do you mean he wasn't helping you into your home? Beyond the day? Say .gov/. That's what it said. Partly cloudy. Okay, weird. Yeah, it's a little confusing. I said I'm on the hook for. What do you mean you're on the hook for? Who's on the hook for what? The American. Name Carol came through. Hang on, you guys. I hear something. Okay, it's just my neighbors. Okay. Said Mace. Dog whistle again. You guys need to look at the people with the dogs in that neighborhood. And he gives this to you. Yeah. Okay. We're going to ask a few more questions, guys. That fisherman. Who likes to go fishing? It said the acid ghost. That's what it said. The lollipop. What do you mean by that, Nancy Guthrie? That's very cryptic. What do you mean by that? Yeah. Are you talking about drugs, Nancy Guthrie? Hey, Jay. That is. And him. And I am. And you are what? Name McGuire came out. The letter. Who? The charismatic. Dog whistle again. Question I have. Nancy Guthrie, the person who kidnapped you, have they spoken out in the media at all? Have they been seen on media cameras at all? Or the people who are involved in your kidnapping? 219. And this, Nancy Guthrie, the people who were involved in your kidnapping, it said yes. Starting at night. The TV is reaching. The appearance and something they found. They found what? What did they find? What did they find? Nancy, I want a very clear yes or no. The road. What about the road? They have a good offense. Okay. Check the doorstep. So you're talking about the front porch? Or are you talking about answering that question? Okay. Other than the mask suspect, Nancy Guthrie, other than the person being in the mask, have they been seen without the mask on camera? that muscle. Repeat it. What? Bonus, yes. Call for me. And then it said Annie. Problems. So the mask, the porch guy, without his mask on his face, has been seen or caught on camera since the night of your kidnapping, Nancy Guthrie. After your kidnapping. He's Democrat. This person's definitely a dang Democrat. Nothing wrong against Democrats, but they keep reassuring me this person's a Democrat. So do-do-do-do-do. That sound can do. Dog whistle again. We've got one. And who's that one? Who is that one? Neighbor. Right. What's the name of the neighbor? What's the name of the neighbor? 19 years is a long time. What's the name of the neighbor? Thank you, Dr. Edward. What is the name of the neighbor? Okay, we're going to ask this last question. Oh, no. Is it no? We're going to ask redistribution. Something about a conference. Thank you, Becca, for asking my questions tonight. Got a lot of information. So it sounds like one of the people involved in Nancy Guthrie's kidnapping has been caught on camera or has been on camera without the mask on. They text him. That's what it's sounding like. Has the masked suspect, the porch guy, has he been going back to Nancy Guthrie's home, especially when the media was there? He said, yes, indeed, 500. So if we were to go back and review, if everybody were to go back and review all the footage from all the news channels and all the YouTube channels, we would be able to see this man multiple times. Going back and forth. Man coming to. They're saying yes. Stands alone. I would say yes. Something grab, something union. They said it's all of them. Who's all of them? The group. Okay. Something that's going on in the hills. So Nancy Guthrie's neighborhood. Does this person live in Nancy Guthrie's neighborhood? The person or persons who kidnapped Nancy Guthrie, do they live in the Catalina Foothills? The second that, and then it said the onslaughter. Meeting Saturday. So that's Saturday night. They had a team, and they hit the road. What road did they take? What road did they take? Thank you. Watch what they say because... Thank you, proud Navy wife. He comes. 634. That's a good question. Dog whistle again. Thank you, I am limitless. Okay, I'm going to ask the next question, the last two questions. Proud Navy wife and mama, please ask if her remains are in Annie's yard where the pile of mulch and stone is. Nancy Guthrie. That's angel.com. That's what it said. Nancy Guthrie, are your remains in Annie? Said we got to say yes, but disappointed. What do you mean? We got to say yes, but disappointed. I don't want false information. I want truthful information. Nancy Guthrie, are your remains in Annie's yard where the pile of mulch and stone is? Fundamentally. That's just talk, but that's... It said justice. It helps you to take a deep breath. I'm talking about Annie being a witch. Annie wasn't a witch. She was into Wiccan. Said I would be honored. It makes shopping and planning. Okay, we're going to move on to the last question. From Charlotte Adkins, is there a tunnel under a pool where Nancy Guthrie would be? Inventory coordinators. Is there a tunnel underneath a pool where Nancy Guthrie would be? It said in all the world. Said I. That church. Are you talking about what church? What church? You've brought out church. They did find someone buried behind a church near, not too far from 3 Points. But the city's booming. Okay. Jiggle. It said hi. Hi, Nancy. It said hi, Nancy. That's not Nancy Guthrie saying hi, Nancy. This is saying hi, Nancy to Nancy and someone who's named Nancy in the chat. Thank you, Proud Navy. Right. Okay, Jiggle Wiggles. Handwritten note. Are you talking about Annie? Annie is the one who left the card out in the memorial. Talking about, there's something about ashes. It's the only one. And that's what works. I'm not surprised. Find the identity and the GPS. Dog whistle again. Okay, we're going to ask Jiggle Wiggle's question. Is it Jeff with the dog? Car. Cross. Nancy Guthrie, Jeff with the dog. Did he have anything to do with your kidnapping? Said Thomas. Well, I'm just, you're just what, Nancy Guthrie? Both that each. Parties. Simple. Creative genius. We've gotten that out before. Someone's a creative genius. Genius has come out before, including in tarot readings. Someone's very intelligent and smart. That always bothered him. Thank you, Bruley. Thank you for sharing about your health challenges. You weren't feeling great at times, but still showed up. Thank you. Okay, one more question, and then we'll end it. Okay, from Sherry Berry. Was it the man who was walking the dog? Nancy Guthrie. The kidnapper. Was it the man who was walking the dog? Said, so yeah, that would leave us. It's who, Nancy? The Shoals. Said the Shoals. Is the Shoals the last name? 414444. There's protection coming in. Okay, Archangel Michael, if you could please come in and protect everyone and all of us from all evil and negative energy. Name John came through again. Smiling. Dog whistle again. Jeff, the name Jeff came through. Jeff named it. Jeff named it. That's what it said. Something tractor. Okay. Next question. Sharon. Ask Nancy if Annie and Savannah are covering up for Tommaso. Nancy Guthrie. Annie's convenient. That's sentiment. So Savannah's sentiment and Annie is covering. He knows that he's going to be. He knows that he's 1744. Is that an address? The secret. What's the secret? Whoa. It said something about customers. It was really talking really fast. The person's involved. Seven. 250. 250. Said the Pope. Yes, I'm Catholic. Places. Okay. Okay, that was a really strange noise. A very loud vacuuming sound came through my headphones. That's why I took my headphones off. Did you guys hear that sound? Just to make sure that I'm not missing. Did you guys hear that sound? You did. Okay. Maybe someone's vacuum. There's no way. You heard the sound that sounded like a vacuum. Sounded like a vacuuming. Like a loud vacuum cleaner. No. Not ding. It sounds like a vacuum. Yes. Okay. That's weird because nobody should be vacuuming right now. I'm literally in a studio. Like this room is separate, completely separate from the apartments in this duplex. I am off the stairwell and you have 3 stories. Nobody vacuums the hallway that goes into this. That's weird. Heard your neighbor vacuum. My neighbor's not vacuuming. That's what I'm saying. It's weird. And ding. I didn't hear a ding. Like a suction of air that then it's gone. Yeah. I don't have any neighbors out in this hallway, and you wouldn't hear vacuuming. Or the wizards. Okay. The ding, I haven't gotten any notifications coming through on my phone, so I did not hear a ding, but I heard the loud. That's why I took my headphones off. Nancy, did you make that sound? Hit me with. Who hit you with what, Nancy? It was coming from your headphones. See, that's what I thought. So loud, yeah. Wasn't vacuum, just a gong. Ding, no. See, I heard what sounded like a vacuum. Like a very loud vacuum. And I know, you know how I know it's not my neighbor's vacuum? Watch this, you guys. Because, don't mind the mess, but this is how I know it's not my neighbor's vacuum. Vacuum's right there. Neighbor's vacuum is right there. That's how I know it's not my neighbor's vacuum. Okay. I think we're going to end it out. Is Nancy, we'll ask Wolfren's question. Is Nancy buried behind her house between her and Jeff's house? Nancy Guthrie, are you buried between your house and Jeff's house? It could mean a housekeeper. But it said when I asked about the vacuum, it said hit her with it. Just the majority of the name Josh came through. You can find that sweet Nick. WGN might not be enough. Cash offer. Nancy, let me hear that vacuum noise. And other people are hearing loud dings or like gong noises. What are you bringing? Why are you bringing those sounds through? The process begins with it. What do you mean the process begins with it? That was a ding from my notification, guys. That sound was a ding from my notifications. 36. Nurse, like you. Becca, loud gong, then loud vacuum. Something or someone is trying to sweep up and progress of today's session or distract from the truth, but that will not happen. I agree. Yeah, very strange things happening. Baseball again, Miss Lovely. Jeff is offering a cash offer on Nancy's house. That would be a wild plot twist. It would. Nancy Guthrie, did somebody do this to you because they wanted your home? Talk to her. That today. Physics. Physics workshop. Yeah, maybe someone was vacuuming in her house. There's a lot of waste. Movement, okay? Movement. So did you bring that sound through? Again, dog whistle. Thunderstorm. Is Nancy, last question, is Nancy buried between her house and between her and Jeff's house? Nancy Guthrie, are you buried between your home and your neighbor Jeff's home? They seen the bolt and gun. It is completely different. Okay. Weird, but Jeff is moving this home sale right along. Very suspicious, okay? Nancy Guthrie, are you by a dog park? Tried to get your legacy. Every morning. Hiking. Drop. The title, The Late Brother. What? The Tom again. You had Gina Drudge. You had a downpour here in Tucson while you were live. Okay. Prayer was answered, it said. Are things going to be coming to the surface? Because you keep bringing out wash, Nancy. Parts of. Free. 60. Said it's all about the kids. Thousands of dollars. Brown-eyed girl. Could the whistle possibly be naval or navy whistle? It sounds very much like a dog whistle. Who listed her house a few years ago? Was she... It helped. Was the agent a neighbor? Akita Pratchett, Nancy Guthrie, Akita... You can tell her yourself. She can hear you. Akita Pratchett, Nancy Guthrie. Akita Pratchett wants me to tell you hi. Said the heat. But the one that day, it said love. Like I said, love. You'll get through it. Well, friend, I have always thought Jeff was okay. We're gonna end this spirit box session because this whistle keeps coming through, and I keep hearing other noises. Okay, we're gonna end the spirit box session. We're shutting down the spirit box session for everyone watching, everyone in the live, and anyone who else watches the live after it's done. We're shutting down the spirit box session. I want to say thank you for coming through. Thank you for bringing through the information. Okay, goodbye. Goodbye. We're shutting it down. We're ending the session. Goodbye. Okay, guys. Yeah, we got some pretty weird sounds. There is definitely something in here with me. I could feel it. That's why I called in Archangel Michael. But let me get to those questions. There weren't really questions. They're more so statements. Okay, Wolfram says, I've always thought Jeff was involved. If he buys Nancy's house, you will know it's true. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't really go outside of whatever I'm sent. This is how I follow the case, you guys. Whatever I'm sent by you guys, my viewers, that's where I kind of get information. Otherwise, all the information comes from my tarot readings or it comes from my spirit box sessions. So I don't go looking up information unless, like, when I go looking for the areas that Nancy has brought out in the spirit box sessions, then I will go to the map and look at the map and search like Google Map or Google Earth and see like where she's brought out like different, areas and things like that. That's the only type of searching I do. Other than that, if I'm sent information by my viewers or subscribers, sometimes I will check it out, sometimes I won't. Depends on who it is, not the person sending, but who the channel is, things of that nature. Or you guys send me information that you guys want me to check out, and I'll check that information out for you guys. But that's the only, so I don't know if Nancy's house is up for sale. So again, we did ask the question, but it sounded like there was some debate on, it seemed like one of the children were at odds with selling the house. That's what it sounded like. Okay. Sports whistle. Yep, could be. But it sounded like, see, my daughter, she works in veterinarian. My daughter loves animals and dogs, and she has a dog whistle. And it sounds exactly like a dog whistle. That's what it sounds like, a dog whistle. But I don't know if those same dog whistles sound like other whistles, so I'd have to compare. I'd have to look up different sounds of whistles, which I'll do to clarify. Was she even in the HOA? Thought heard there was a HOA was an option in or opt out. I don't know that or not, but there was also some conflicting information about the HOA as well that Nancy was bringing out, not in just this spirit box session, but in other spirit box sessions. And I do believe that the HOA went and placed all that stuff in front of Nancy Guthrie's home, if I am correct. If I'm correct, but you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. Did the HOA, is HOA Tom also the attorney for her estate? Okay, we're not asking those questions. But do you remember when they put that stuff crossing Nancy Guthrie's driveway and things like that? So nobody could, just lives across the street from the rental house, and his is the area of, yep. And that is the exact area where I said that Nancy gave me information, very specific address, and it is between two houses. It's not an actual address. You would have to be, it would be like literally right in between these two houses, this area. And that is exactly where the FBI has been, or law enforcement has been searching. And I gave that information out before FBI and or law enforcement went back out there. Now there is the other area near 3 Points by the Ryan Airport. that I do believe needs to be searched. And there's the area that I did release it's by the sorry guys, I'm tired, but it's by the there's like an airplane museum, like military museum, trucking school over there, the Julian Wash, there's a Thomas athletic field over there. I do believe one of you guys drove past that area and looked at it, and you said it's pretty vast, a pretty big area. There would need to be a lot of people searching it. I did get an email. Sorry that I can't remember exactly the name. I'm crappy with remembering names, but I can remember, the email being sent to me. But there is one more location I have, and I am yet to release that location because I'm still waiting for Nancy to confirm one more piece of information before I release that location. You are correct. Okay. Sue Ellen did. She admitted it on Live with Criminal Network. Sue Ellen, she put the stuff across me, Blondie 7179. She put the stuff across Nancy Guthrie's driveway, or she put the stuff going along the approach. So the news channels and YouTuber channels couldn't sit on the public easement. Gina Drudge, Becca, do you think if you were live and I drive, Ari and Nancy would give you directions? She might. She might. Trust me, I do a meditation session every single night before I go to bed to see if Nancy will show me her exact pinpoint exact location. Every single night. I do a meditation to see if she will show me exactly where she is without any hesitation, because I don't want to be sending anybody on a wild goose chase. But I know she's also pinpointed areas where other people have been found, okay, and other things that have come out in the media. So I know she's bringing out that information as well. So it's not that she's lying to me. Like, she's very adamant, like, especially with the Sheriff Chris Nanos stuff. Like, she was very adamant about, like, exposing him for who he is and his corruption. Like, she was not giving up on that whatsoever. So again, divine timing at play here. All of that's at play. But she was very adamant. I think enough has, because she has kind of calmed down on speaking about Sheriff Nanos. I think enough has now been exposed that she knows that it's now going to be taken care of, and that Sheriff Chris Nanos is going to be handled properly, and that law is going to be restored, and justice is going to be restored back to Pima County, and that the law enforcement agency, the sheriff's agency, is going to eventually start being run correctly instead of incorrectly, like, again, allegedly, in my opinion, how Sheriff Chris Nanos has been running it. But so I tell you with wholeheartedly, every single night I do a meditation session to see if she will show me exactly where she is. And every time I get a little bit closer and a little bit closer, but then something else always comes in. So I know there's also there's more at play here that is trying to still block it. I pray she gets brought home this week. Yeah. Yeah, we should try, Gina. We should. We definitely should. That would be something we should try. What could it hurt? I don't think it could hurt anything. As long as we're not breaking any laws and you're not going on any private property or anything like that, nobody can do anything. If she gives us directions, big time pool, did deep exploration with Jim is in Tucson, get him a pinpoint to search. I do believe one of my viewers have sent the locations to one of the people who is searching. I don't know if it is Jim and exploration with Jim. Sounds familiar, but I know there's like a couple people, single men out there searching. And I know one of my viewers sent my information to him, to one of them. Yes, the rocks, the cactus, on the easement. Yeah, okay. So yeah, that was Sue Ellen, yeah. Thank you, Wendy. Hugs, Becca. Take care of yourself. I am. I'm trying, but I'm excited for my move, and I want to, make sure I'm all organized and those things. Again, I still work full time during the day and all that kind of stuff. But packing up a household and moving in those, and I'm single, so um, parts of her could be several. Yes, that is true, Linda. That is very true. Sherry Berry, Jim wants note from porch guy or others involved with where she is. Jim wants a note from porch guy or others involved where she is. I mean, Jim on a motorcycle, AJ on an electric bike. Okay. I don't know. I don't actually watch the channels, you guys. I really don't, because I don't like, and it's not that I don't respect them. Because I respect every single person who is YouTuber who is putting in the time and effort to search for Nancy Guthrie, to go out there and search every single day. They're putting their time, their money, their effort into looking for Nancy Guthrie, searching for her, more than I can say than her own family. Okay, and that's my opinion. Okay, and it's not that I don't, because I do respect them. I respect the YouTubers who are consistently reporting on her, keeping her case out there, keeping her name alive, bringing new evidence, going back and reviewing old evidence. I respect the heck out of anybody who does that for any case, okay? Where they won't let a case, it may go cold in law enforcement's eyes, but they won't let a case go cold. But it's just the way that I do things is I don't want like information, like a bias being formed in my head. So I just had know over the years that that's how I work best with my abilities. Wendy, love to your sister. I'll tell her you said that. Definitely putting in the effort. You saw Jim's live, but throwing it near Pistachio Peak sign, and he will check it. I pray they do it. Yeah. And Sherry Berry, thank you, Gina. That was a video yesterday. Yeah. So Gina Drudge, just reach out to me. My email is, I'm pretty sure you've reached out to me already, but it's Becca's True Crime Tarot at gmail.com. And maybe we can schedule a time where you have free time and I have free time at the same time. I don't want you going anywhere that's not safe though. So, but we can email back and forth. And discuss, like parameters and things of that nature. And when we have both have time at the same time, that's free. Definitely don't want you out there at night or anything like that. So, not at all, because I want everybody to stay safe and be safe. Because also Nancy brought out that there seems to be some sort of crime issue that is happening in Tucson that is kind of being swept under the rug by law enforcement. Thank you, Mama Chipmunk, for putting that in there. And so far, everything that Nancy Guthrie has brought out has come to light, has come to pass, especially, the stuff with Sheriff Chris Nanos and all that kind of stuff, the other things that she brought out. So I don't believe that she's going to say, hey, there's crime going on here, but law enforcement really isn't letting the citizens of Tucson and the surrounding subdivisions know that this is really going on here. It's kind of trying to be swept under the rug. So I just want, me knowing that Nancy has said that to me, I just want to make sure everyone's safe. Mark the Shark is out here now and with a drone. Nice. All right, you guys. I think I'm going to end the live. We're already at 2 hours and 9 minutes. Kelly, really think getting closer to more answers, hopefully where she is at. Yeah. All right, you guys. I want to say big thank you to my moderators. You guys give them a big thank you. Again, wouldn't be able to do this without them. I love my moderators so very much. I trust them so very much. And I want to say I truly, truly appreciate my moderators, and I truly appreciate my viewers and subscribers. But so I'll give a big thanks to my moderators because they help this chat run smoothly. They keep it running gracefully and nice. And again, Wouldn't be able to do this without them. All right, you guys, I love you all. I hope you all have a rest of the good night or evening, whatever time it is, wherever you all are located in this world. I love you all. I'll talk to you all later, okay? Good night, everyone. Bye.